Good morning, everyone. I'm Janice, and I will discuss to you what is measuring quality, service quality, 5 dimensions of service quality, and service quality gap model. So, when we say measuring quality, it is the systematic identification of the current level of quality the facility or system is achieving. Measuring quality leads directly to the identification of areas for improvement or enhancement, the first step in improving quality. Successful improvement ultimately contributes to attaining quality care, the goal of quality assurance. Measuring quality in the hospitality industry is a complex task because customers' perception of service quality are determined by various intangible factors. So why is it important to measure the quality? So, in hospitality industry, mahalaga na ma-measure natin yung quality dahil dito malalaman natin kung nabibigyan ba natin ng satisfaction ng ating guests and customers. And isa rin ito sa magiging way para mas ma-recognize pa ang ating hotel. Understanding service quality. Service quality defines the retention power of the company concerning its customers. Customer retention is the best measure of service quality. Service quality is defined as an evaluation of how well the delivered service matches customer expectations. Businesses that meet or succeed expectations are considered to have high service quality. Service quality refers to the degree of excellence of the service. In our industry, which is the hospitality industry, it is very important because it leads to competitive advantage and business success. Yung service quality natin ang mag-identify kung nabigyan ba natin or naibigay ba natin yung expectation ng ating customer. And yung service quality natin ang key to success, and also it will provide a good impression to our guests. And here, the 5 dimensions of service quality. We have the reliability, responsiveness, assurance, tangibles, and empathy. So first, what is reliability? It is the ability to perform the set service dependably and accurately. It focuses on providing the services right the first time and maintaining error-free records. So for example, customers expect their personal information is accurately recorded when they book their flights, and they expect flight departures and arrivals to be on time when they travel on airlines. So next, responsiveness. Willingness to help customers and provide prompt service. Readiness to respond to customers' inquiries. For example, serving complimentary desserts at a restaurant for a table that had to wait for an exceptionally long time for their meal can turn a poor customer experience into a favorable one. The third one is the assurance. It is the knowledge and courtesy of employees and their ability to convey trust and confidence. Employees who instill confidence in customers and make customers feel safe in their transactions. So for example, a general manager at a fine dining restaurant should be competent in performing service and communicate effectively while being polite and respectful. Fourth is the tangibles. It contains physical facilities, modern equipment, appearance of personnel, visually appealing materials associated with service. For example, the front desk agent at a luxury hotel should be well-dressed and appear neat when guests check in at a hotel, and the room should be impeccably clean. The last is empathy. Caring individual attention a firm provides to its customers. Convenient business hours, having the customer's best interest at heart. So for example, a hotel front desk agent might regard a customer's urgent situation as their own problem and find a solution in an effort to support the customer's need. The Service Quality Gap Model. The gap model was first proposed by A. Parasurayman, Valerie Ithami, and Leonard L. Berry in 1985. The gap model of service quality helps the company to understand the customer satisfaction. It creates a roadmap for the overall service delivery process and identifies the gap between the processes so that the complete model works efficiently and effectively. So in service industry, the gap model is widely used to understand the various deviations that are occurring in the process of service delivery to potential customers. This chart represents the service quality gap model. And here are the 5 gaps occur in service delivery process. First, the gap between customer expectation and management perception. So this gap is known as the knowledge gap. This gap arises between management because management does not understand exactly what their customer expect. The reason why this gap may occur include of management and customer interaction, lack of communication between service employees and management, insufficient market research, and failure to listen to customer complaints. So for example, a cafe owner may think that the customer wants a better ambience in the cafe, but the consumer is more concerned about the coffee and the food they serve. So the second gap is the gap between service quality specification and management perception. So this gap also known as service stand gap. This gap arises when the management or service provider might correctly comprehend what the customer requires but may not set a performance standard. It can be due to poor service design, inappropriate physical evidence, and systematic new service development process. So for example, the restaurant managers who may tell the waiters to provide the order of the customer quick but do not specify how quick. So the third gap is the gap between service quality specification and service delivery. This gap also known as service delivery gap. This gap may arise in situations existing to the service personnel. It may occur due to improper training, incapability of or willingness to meet the set service standards. It can be due to inappropriate evaluation and compensation systems. Ineffective recruitment is the main cause of this gap. The failure to match the supply and demand can create also this gap. An example would be a restaurant having very specific standards of the food communicated, but the restaurant staff may not be given proper instruction as how to follow these standards. The fourth gap is the gap between service delivery and external communication. This gap also known as communication gap. It arises when these assumed expectations are not fulfilled at the time of delivery of service. An example would be a restaurant that has printed on its menu that it serves 100% vegetarian food, but in reality, it serves non-vegetarian food as well. In this situation, consumer expectations are not met. So the last gap in the service delivery process is the gap between the expected service and experience service. This gap also known as customer satisfaction gap. When expectations are exceeded, service is perceived to be exceptional and customers are satisfied. However, when expectations are not met, service is perceived to be unacceptable and customers are dissatisfied. This gap arises when the consumer misunderstands the service quality. So for example, a restaurant manager may keep visiting their consumer to ensure quality check and consumer satisfaction. But the consumer may interpret this as an indication that something is fishy or there is something wrong in the service provided by the restaurant staff.
So, good morning everyone. So, let's proceed to quality assurance for measurements. So, first we are defining quality and then assurance. So, now, what is quality all about? So, quality is all about meeting the needs and expectations of customers with respect to functionality, design, reliability, durability, and price of the product. So that is the quality. So when we will talk about assurance, assurance is it provides a guarantee that the product will work without any problems as per the expectations or requirements. So that is assurance. So after defining quality and assurance, we form the word quality assurance. And according to Merriam-Webster, quality assurance is a program for a systematic monitoring and evaluation of the various aspects of the project, service, or facility to ensure that standards of quality are being met. So that is the quality assurance. So now let's proceed to quality assurance process. So quality assurance process has four parts, which is the plan, do, check, and act. So first, what is the plan? So plan is organization should plan and establish the process, related objectives, and determine the processes that are required to deliver a high quality end product. So kung isipin natin at kung titingnan natin, every establishment or businesses is laging nagpa-plan before we start any kind of business. Kasi nandiyan sa pagpa-plan, nandiyan yung ating pagbe-brainstorming, yung pagpaplano kung ano ba yung magiging sequence ng pagpo-provide natin ng product or services sa mga future customer or clients natin. So, yun yung plan. So, the second one is do. Do is develop and testing the processes and also do changes in the processes. So, kumbaga, pagkatapos nating mag-plan, gagawa tayo ng do. Parang i-examine natin kung yung nauna ba nating mga naisip or na-brainstorm sa plan is okay na, pwedeng magkaroon ng some changes or pwedeng mag-stick tayo doon sa mga plan na nauna natin or something na pwede din tayong magdagdag bago natin siya i-perform sa tunay na in time na, kumbaga yung tunay na process na bago natin siya i-perform doon. Syempre kailangan mo natin siyang dumaan sa do or yung pag-check nga if ever na may changes. So the third one is check. So check is monitoring of processes, modify the processes, and check whether it meets the predetermined objectives. So sa check naman, doon natin minobodify yung process. Kung yung after ba ng plan and do natin, if i-check natin kung okay na ba, kung bago natin siya i-launch or ibigay sa mga future customer or clients natin is okay na yung pinaka-product natin or yung service natin na ibibigay. So, yun po yung sa check. And then, the last one is yung pang-apat is the act. So, ano ba yung act? So, a quality assurance tester should implement actions that are necessary to achieve improvements in the process. So, after nating makapagplano, gumawa na din tayo ng pagsusuri, yung do, at syempre yung check natin, ngayon mag-a-act tayo. So, paano daw po yung sa pag-a-act? So, yung sa act natin, magte-test ulit tayo doon. Kung bago natin siya lapag sa magiging mga future customer or clients natin, mag-i-implement na tayo doon ng mga actions. Kumbaga, yung sa nauna nating mga plano sa isang specific product or service na ibibigay natin is, kumbaga dito sa stage na to, is yung mapapag-usapan or yung magiging act natin is final na. Kumbaga ay ito na yung magiging makukuha ng mga customers natin or clients natin dun sa ating business or dun sa product na ibibigay natin sa kanila. So, yun po yung act or yung improvements. Magagawa tayo ng mga necessary to achieve improvements in the process. Kumbaga ay i-improve na natin siya para makapagbigay tayo ng high-end quality products or services sa ating mga customer or clients. So, after nating mapag-usapan yung ating quality assurance process, yung 4 quality assurance process natin, now let's talk about what is quality control. So, ano nga ba yung quality control? So, quality control, the main aim of quality control is to check whether the products meet the specifications and requirements of the customer. So, also, quality control also evaluates people on their quality level skill sets and imparts training and certificates. This evaluation is required for the service-based organization and helps provide perfect service to the customer. So, yung kung sa quality assurance natin is, ang definition niya is kumbaga nagpo-focus siya more on sa mga products na ibinibigay natin. Dito naman sa quality control is nagpo-focus siya sa evaluation ng ating mga manpower, evaluation ng mga gumagawa ng product or service na ibibigay natin sa ating mga customers and clients. So, yun po ang quality control. And now, pagkatapos natin sa ating quality control, pagkatapos natin may define ng quality control, ngayon, masihimayin natin kung ano nga ba ang pinagkaiba ng quality control and then the quality assurance. So, first, sa quality control natin, meron tayong tinatawag dyan na product. So, ano nga ba yung product? So, when we say product, an article or substance that is manufactured or refined for sale. So, yung product, when we say product, it means produkto or gawa na. So, yung mga example natin for product is bed sheets, pillows, and then comforters. So, ano naman po pag nagpunta na tayo sa quality assurance? So, sa quality assurance natin, kung ang quality control ay merong product, sa quality assurance, meron naman po tayong process. So, ano po ba yung sinasabi nating process? So, process is a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. So, yun po yung process. So, ang process natin is, kumbaga, pamamaraan or paraan. Kung paano natin may bibigay yung product natin or yung services natin. So, example sa process, pag naglilinis tayo ng ating kitchen, so, particularly sa akin, pag naglilinis ako ng kitchen, ng lababo, diba may process tayong sinusunod? Sa akin, pag naghuhugas ako ng mga dishes, ang inuuna ko is baso. Tapos kutsara, tinidor, tapos platito, mangkok, tapos saka ko isusunod ang plato, and then yung mga shanse na ginamit sa pagluluto, and then yung mga kaldero, ayan, yun na. Tapos ay after nun, maghuhugas ako ng basahan, tapos pupunasan natin yung lababo natin, and then after nun, saka pa tayo magmamap ng floor. Kasi ang pangat naman tingnan na magmamap ka muna ng floor, tapos maghuhugas ka ng mga pinagkainan, tapos hindi naman natin maiiwasan na may tatalsik diyang mga particles, for example ay sabon, o kaya ay yung mga bula-bula, or yung ibang mga pieces ng mga pagkain. So, ang tendency, magmamap ka ulit. So, yun yung parang pinaka-example ng process. Kumbaga, may sinusunod tayong process or sequence kung paano gagawin yung isang bagay. So, ayun po yung process natin. Yun po yung process natin para sa quality assurance. So, lipat ulit tayo sa quality control. So, kay quality control naman is meron siyang reactive. So, ano po ba yung reactive? Acting in response to a situation rather than creating or controlling it. So, kumbaga, pag sinabing reactive, engage ka lang. Kumbaga, more on focus sa pagre-react mo. So, for example, sumakit ang ulo mo. Masakit na yung ulo mo. So, ang magiging reaction mo, iinom ka ng gamot. Specific is biogesic para mawala yung sakit ng ulo mo. At the same time, mawala yung lagnat mo. So, yun po yung reactive. So, pag nagpunta naman tayo ng quality assurance, which is, ang pinapokus niya is proactive, ang ibig sabihin naman niya is creating or controlling a situation by causing something to happen rather than responding to it after it has happened. So, the best example for this is yung pagpapatrok natin ngayon ng vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine. So, yan. Ngayon, hindi pa tayo nagkakaroon ng COVID. So, ang tendency, magpapabakuna na tayo. Magpapabakuna for protection. Not necessarily naman na kapag nabakunahan tayo is hindi na tayo magkakabaksin, di ba? Pero, ang pinafocus natin is, pag may vaccine na tayo, mas safe tayo. Kumbaga, hindi na tayo tatamaan ng mas severe na effects ng COVID. Kumbaga, mapipigilan na natin na magkaroon tayo ng mas malalapang sakit or problemahin natin in the near future. So, yun yung sinasabi ng proactive. Kumbaga, magiging handa ka na or pipigilan mo na siya bago ka pa tamaan ng sakit. So, yun yung proactive natin. So, now, balik ulit tayo sa quality control. So, sa quality control naman, may pinafocus naman sila ng line function. So, ano ba yung line function natin? The primarily activities which are essential to the basic operation of the business. So, pag sinabi nating line function, ang example natin dito is, 'di ba sa business meron tayong production, marketing and sales. Kumbaga, sila yung pinaka-basic Sila yung pinaka-basic na gagalaw kapag may nagtayo tayo ng isang business or establishment. When sa atin namang quality assurance, ang pinopokus nila is staff function. So, pag staff function naman, the function which provide assistance to the line function. So, 'di ba kung meron tayo sa quality control na production, marketing and sales, sa atin namang staff function, nandoon na yung ating human resources or human resource, tapos ay legal and then accounting. Kumbaga, sa line function, mas broad kung ano yung tinutukoy niya. Mas broad, pero sila yung pinaka-basic na kailangan. Whereas, sa staff function is, mas specific sila dun sa mga gagalaw sa isang business. And then, last part para sa ating quality control and then quality assurance is, so when we talk about sa find defects and prevent defects, so yung find defects natin is under siya ng quality control, and then sa quality assurance naman natin is under niya is the prevent defects. So, yung ating sa quality control, find defects, hinahanap natin kung saan yung may problema. May mali, may sira. Ganun po, pag sinabing find defects na under ng quality control. Whereas, sa quality assurance naman natin, piniprevent niya na yung defects. Kumbaga, nagagawa siya ng paraan na hindi na magkaroon ng problema. Kaya nga, piniprevent na niya. Kumbaga ay, habang maaga pa, gagawa niya na ng paraan para hindi na magka-problema or lumala pa yung problema. So, yun po yung ating prevent defects na under ng quality assurance. So, ngayon, punta naman tayo sa 5 primary quality assurance function. So, first, yung ating technology transfer. So, ano nga ba yung technology transfer? So, this function involves getting a product design document as well as trial and error data and its evaluation. The documents are distributed, check, and approve. So, sa technology transfer natin, dito na mangyayari yung ating trial and error. And then, second one is the validation. So, here, validation master plan for the entire system is prepared. Approval of tests, criteria for validating products, and process is set. Resource planning for execution of a validation plan is done. So, dito sa validation natin, kagaya nung nasabi kanina, so, dito nalalabas yung mga criteria for validation, tapos, kung paano ba yung product and yung process is nakaset na siya. So, nabanggit din na yung mga resource planning for the execution, kumbaga ano yung mga plano para execute yung ating plan. So, the third one is documentation. This function controls the distribution and archiving of documents. Any change in the document is made by adopting the proper change control procedure, approval, and all types of documents. So, dito sa documentation natin, syempre kasama dito yung lahat ng documents ng ating business or yung ating product or ating service na ibibigay para ma-achieve natin yung quality assurance function natin. So, the fourth one is assuring quality of products. So, assuring quality of products is a way of preventing mistakes or and defects. Also, yung assuring quality of products natin is nagpo-focus siya sa providing confidence that quality requirements will be fulfilled. So, yung sa assuring quality products natin is nagpo-focus siya more on sa pag-fulfill nung ating mga quality requirements. So, and last one is the quality improvement plan. So, ano nga ba yung quality improvement plan? So, quality improvement plan natin or yung QIPs is a formal, documented set of quality commitments aligned with systems and provincial priorities that an organization makes to its staff and community to improve quality through focused targets and actions. So siguro nagtatanong kayo kung bakit quality improvement plan yung pangalan. Kumbaga, i-improve mo na pero may word pa rin na quality. So sadyang ganun kasi quality improvement plans, kumbaga, 'di ba nung una nagplana tayo? Syempre, pag nagpa-plan tayo ng isang business, laging kasama yung pagiging quality ng ipoprovide nating products or services. So, kailangan, kumbaga, yung quality improvement plan, ano lang siya, support. Kumbaga ay quality na yung binibigay natin ng products or services na kung saan pag in-improve natin siya is mas magkakaroon siya ng quality or touch na kumbaga is quality na siya pero gusto pa natin gawing mas quality. For example, 'di ba example natin dito yung Pancit Canton. 'Di ba yung naging quality na siya kasi nung una is siya ay tin noodles. Tapos, nung parang nagkaroon ng demand na parang siguro naisip nila na bakit hindi natin gawing flat noodles which is after ng mga ilang years na nasa tin noodles siya, ginawa nilang flat noodles. So, kumbaga nagkaroon ng bagong image. Nagkaroon ng bagong image yung Pancit Canton. At the same time, nandoon pa rin yung quality na ibinibigay nila sa mga naging customers nila. And then, nung naging flat noodles na, parang nagkaroon ng instinct yung mga customer nila at saka yung mga bagong customer nila, totally parang parang nakadagdag hakot. Kasi parang ang naisip nung iba na siguro may bagong lasa ang Pancit Canton. Or siguro ay may bagong pakulo kasi kaya siya naging flat noodles. So, ang tendency, siguro pwede ang maging tendency nun, mas madaming bumili kasi gusto nilang itry kung ano yung pinagkaiba ng tin noodles sa flat noodles. So, ayun po yung sa quality, example natin sa quality improvement plan.
Nine practical methods for measuring service quality. First is the service quality or the ServQual, the most common method for measuring the subjective elements of service quality, and are used to measure the gap between customer expectations for excellence and their perception of the actual service delivered. So the service quality or the ServQual is a model that applied to measure customer satisfaction in hotel industry. It reports the gap between the customer's expectations and perception. There are 5 dimensions that are already mentioned earlier. These are the tangibility, reliability, responsiveness, assurance, and empathy. Next is post-service ratings. This is the practice of asking customers to rate the service right after it's been delivered. So let's say, for example, the chat window can display a service rating box once it closes or your conversation with your customer is done, so that the customer rate their rating and some explanatory feedback, and the customer are more inclined to rate as excellent, good, or bad. This is our favorite approach because the memory of the service is still fresh and undiluted. Follow-up survey is a method that you ask your customer to rate your service quality through an email survey, for example, via Google Form. Unlike the post-service rating, or if you don't have a post-service rating, it's a useful technique to give your customer the time and space for more detailed responses. The follow-up survey measures your customer's overall opinion of your service. In-app survey. The questions or the survey are asked while the visitor is on the website or still in the app, instead of after the service or via email. This kind of survey is more likely in the apps or applications in your mobile phone. Service rating instantly appear with the question of, "Are you enjoying this app? Rate us now." In relating service, it can be one simple questions like, "How would you rate our service?" Mystery shopping. This is a popular technique used by retail stores, hotels, and restaurants, but work for any type of service, and it also digital. Mystery shopping is another term for secret shopper. It is a process or form of participant or a person visit and observe the stores, restaurants, or any location with the objective of measuring quality. They act as a customers or potential customers to monitor the quality of processes and procedures used in the delivery of a service. Documentary analysis. With this quality approach, you read through or listen to your written or recorded service records. They can process this into constructive feedback or follow up with the customer for damage control if necessary. Those doing this quality assurance then check whether the support agent took the right actions or not. Customer effort score was proposed in an influential Harvard Business Review article. In it, the authors argued that instead of delighting our customers, we should make it as easy as possible for them to have their problem solved. And here's the formula. So, customer effort score equals sum of all customer effort scores divided by total number of respondents. Let's have an example. Say if you get 12 responses, 3753776577777. Let's apply and distribute the value. So again, the formula is the customer effort score equals addition of all customer effort score divided to total number of respondents. So addition of all customers' effort scores would be the 3753776577777 divided by the total number of respondents, which is 12. So simple, 71 divided by 12, therefore the customer effort score would be 5.9. First, contact resolution ratio. It's a metric worth highlighting due to its direct positive effect on customer satisfaction. So it reveals how well your contact center resolves your customers' problems, questions, and needs during the first interaction via any communication channel. The key to first call resolution is that no follow-up is required and as defined based on customers' perspective. Last, leading metrics analysis. In tracking terms, these inputs indicators are called leading metrics, while the outcome indicators are lagging metrics. So what are these two mean? The lagging metrics take a long time to change and show the later stage results of your effort. The leading metrics, on the other hand, measure the activities you think will help you reach your goal and can be tracked on a more ongoing basis. It's important to understand when you're tracking a lagging metric so you can identify leading indicators to guide you. Measuring the outcome of your service delivery is necessary to know where you stand, but input metrics can tell you where to go.
Thank you, Ms. Hernandez, and good day, everyone. I'm Joshua Rocafort. For continuation of our discussion, I'm going to discuss the Net Promoter Score or NPS, followed by how NPS work, and last will be the benefits of improving and tracking customer NPS. To begin with, I'm here to discuss what is NPS and how it works. NPS. It is a customer loyalty and satisfaction measurement taken from asking customer how likely they are to recommend your product or service to others on a scale of 0 to 10. By asking customer one question, on a scale from 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend this product company to a friend or colleague? NPS also have a formula. It's simple. NPS equal percentage of promoter minus percentage of detractor. Before we proceed to the example, let me discuss the promoter, passive, and detractor. Detractor is anybody who answer question with a score between 0 and 6. Customer giving this score are dissatisfied with your brand. Next is promoters. Is anybody who answer question with a score between 9 and 10. These are the most loyal customer who are energetic about spreading the word about your brand. Lastly, passive. Is anybody who answer question with a score between 7 and 8. Are generally passive customer who are mostly satisfied but not necessarily loyal. These customers are likely to switch to a competitor if they get a better deal. Here's an example. You will see in the left side of the column are the score and the right side is the count. The 9 and 10 are the promoter and the count is 238 and 80. Next is 7 and 8 are the passive and the count is 118 and 55. Next is 0 to 6 are the detractor and the count is 25, 23, 7, 3, 3, 2, and 9. The total responses is 563. Para makuha natin yung total responses, pagka-addin lang natin lahat yung nasa count. Next is add the count of promoter score. So just 238 plus 80 is equal to 318. Just repeat the process in passive and detractor. All in all, we have 318 promoter, 173 for passive, and 72 detractor. In our formula, we need the percentage of promoter and detractor. To get the percentage, just divide the total responses to total score. 318 divided by 563 is equal to 0.56 or 56%. And 72 divided by 563 is equal to 0.12 or 12%. Apply the formula and distribute each value. So, NPS equal percentage of promoter minus percentage of detractors. Distribute the value. 56 minus 12 equal 44. Therefore, the net promoter score is 44. Ganun lang kadali kunin ang NPS score or percentage. Proceeding to the last part of our NPS, the benefits of improving and tracking customer NPS. Repeat business. It is simple means that true NPS is a way to see if the customer are likely to do repeat service with the company or the business. Second, highlight potential improvement. Just like the other review and rating tools, NPS help the business to see what they need to improve. Third, naturally raises brand awareness. We cannot stop some of our customers from promoting our brand unconsciously. For example, you check in at the hotel, you took a picture of your room and that include the hotel name. There's possibility that you could have a potential customer that came to your hotel. Fourth and last, naturally connects your business. Everyone is involved in improving the NPS. That will be all for our Net Promoter Score or NPS. Next in line is Ms. Jamela Mendoza to discuss the internal accountability and external accountability. Thank you.
Internal accountability. Internal accountability is being accountable to oneself. It's an individual's personal commitment to be true to their values and to fulfill their promises. It comes from the inside out and creates a credibility that others trust and respect. So within the firm, managers and frontline staff can be held accountable for their performance. For example, a customer may reveal that this certain hotel, the housekeeper consistently forget to refresh the bath amenities for stayover guests. The housekeeping manager should be held responsible for improving the training and supervision of his or her staff to ensure compliance. On the other hand, survey results may indicate that a particular restaurant server consistently delivers exceptional dining experience. The manager of the team member ought to praise the server to both encourage and to set example to other staff. So in external accountability comes from the outside in, being accountable, not to oneself but to others. It creates an environment that people feel compelled to follow a set of social norms and standards. Social and proprietary review sites as well as total market quality service and customer panels gives a firm a sense of the public perception of the firm's service quality. Consumers will inherently hold the firm accountable for improving quality with the volume of purchase. Companies with poor or inconsistent quality are likely to see customers desert the business, consequently losing revenue opportunities. Performance improvement. It is a strategy under the umbrella of performance management to help employees achieve better performance and growth. Managers typically use performance improvement plans to help underperforming employees meet the organization's standards and requirements, both in terms of productivity and behavior. This is called operational or individual performance improvement. So, performance improvement occurs at a team level, department level, and organizational level, known as organizational performance improvement. In every case, feedback should be reviewed and acted upon. Feedback can come from customers, employees, processes, and other business at large. Once actual performance is known, it should be compared with expected performance, and effort should be made to match the two. Idea and innovation. It implies a value system which seek to derive a positive outcome from the inventive act. Periodically, standards should also be assessed with evolving customers' expectation to ensure the firm's offerings stay relevant versus competitors and consumer preferences. Feedback can be a tremendous source of innovative ideas. Companies may also receive unsolicited opinions from guests who suggest alternative ways to deliver services. Some firms like Starbucks even invite customers to share ideas in an unsolicited manner like, "What's your Starbucks idea?" In any form, feedback is a gift that firms should also capture and consider.
In measuring quality, we have 4 causes of guest problems. Number 1, the service itself. The service itself whereby the offering was delivered incorrectly or in an unsatisfying fashion. For example, an overbooked restaurant may not be able to honor a dining reservation. In a hotel, a carpet may be found with stains. Number 2, the service provider. The service provider, the way service professionals engage with guests, staff attitude, and responsiveness to guest concerns are common forms of this failure. Number 3, the service environment. The service environment in which factors beyond the control of the firm affect guest perceptions. This should not be confused with facility issues, which relate to the service itself. Instead, consider that noisy construction in the neighborhood may impact guests' ability to enjoy relaxation in a hotel. Lastly, number 4, the customer. The customer who involves 2 dimensions. On the one hand, a customer can cause problems. Failing to notify a hotel of an arrival delayed by a day may prompt the hotel to resell the room to another guest. Alternatively, customers may cause each other problems. Stinking guests on airplanes and aggressive guests in bars are infamous examples of unpleasant experiences. In measuring quality, we also have 4 consequences of guest problems. Number 1, appraisal cost. Appraisal costs involve the cost to measure and monitor quality. These include audit costs and supplier verification cost. Number 2, internal failure cost. Internal failure costs are operating expenses incurred when companies take internal measures to resolve issues in the guest experience. Examples include rework, scrap, and other waste from inefficient processes or lacking internal communications. Number 3, external failure cost. External failure costs are incurred when resolving issues detected by customers. Rebates and returns as well as recovery efforts are common in the industry. An example would be a complimentary meal in a restaurant if food or service is underwhelming to the guest. And lastly, number 4, prevention costs. Prevention costs include expenses related to quality improvement and control efforts. Examples include the cost of training, standards development, and ongoing quality assurance. In measuring quality, of course, we have resolution of guest problems. Number 1, listen with concern and empathy. Always make sure that you listen to what your guest is saying. You must give full attention while the guest is complaining and make sure to note down their complaints. It is very useful, especially when another person is going to solve the problem. Number 2, isolate the guest if possible so that other guests won't overhear. By doing this, of course, it will help the company, the hotel's image. This will stop other guests from thinking about what is wrong. Number 3, stay calm. Don't argue with the guest. The most important thing to do when dealing with guests is to remain calm. Replying to them in kind or losing their temper will only escalate the situation. Remember that you are a professional. Stay calm and keep in mind that while the customer or guest is taking their frustrations out on you, the real cause of their problem is something else. Focus on the solution rather than the insult. The quicker you solve the problem, the quicker the unpleasant discussion will end. If you take things personally, the situation can quickly escalate out of control. Okay, so number 4, be aware of the guest's self-esteem. Of course, you need to be sensitive because the moment you say something bad to the guest that hurts him or her might get the situation even worse. And number 5, do not insult the guest. Instead of arguing, just take notes because writing down the key facts saves time if someone else must get involved. Also, guests tend to slow down when they see you trying to write down the issue. And number 6, concentrate on the problem, not on placing blame. The best practice is to apologize if the situation goes worse where the guest is very angry and frustrated. Concentrate and never argue with the guest. Number 7, don't promise the impossible and don't exceed your authority. Why? Because tell the guest what can be done and offer choices. Just do not promise the impossible and do not exceed your authority. Number 8, monitor the progress of the corrective action. This is to give assurance to the guest that the complaint is being resolved. And last, follow up. Even if the complaint was resolved by someone else, contact the guest to ensure that the problem was resolved satisfactorily. Always ensure each guest leaves the restaurant or a hotel with a positive impact. So send them off on a calm, courteous note. It will have a good chance that angry guests will visit your restaurant or hotel back again.